up, nerds? Oh, this looks bright. Welcome back to my channel, guys. I don't know what's going on. We won't be long, hopefully. I live right by the highway, so it's always like so loud. Hello. Hi. Hey, what's up? Hello. I thought it would be super fun and freaking fresh to bring back the timer generated 24-hour challenge. Okay? I want to bring it back. So it was kind of like, what do I film for today? I had a couple ideas. I'm not gonna lie, I filmed this intro for a different video because I was like, oh, we'll just like, you know, chill and see how much we read in the next couple of days. But I thought it would be fun and fresh to timer it. I think we're gonna like reverse it and we're gonna track the with the goal of getting to 24 hours, but we're gonna see, like, instead of starting at 24 hours and counting down, we're gonna start at 0, start counting up, so we can kind of track how long each book takes us. I guess either way it'll track how much, but I thought this would be super fun and fresh. See if I can read for 24 hours within the next couple of days. So hopefully it's only like 3 or 4 days, honestly, would be great. Yeah, 3 or 4 days would be great. Today is actually Saturday the 5th and it is 6:40. So okay, you don't need to see all my notifications. It's 6:41, so hopefully we can start. I think we'll try to aim for 6:45 and go from there. I really hope it's self-explanatory. First, if you guys like reading vlogs, if you guys like talking about books, if you guys like all the nerdy things, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button, and without further ado, let's just get started. First things first, first book first. We're actually already halfway through this book, so we're gonna start at the halfway point. Normally, when I've done the timer generated like 24 hours, I think both times I landed on like a 5.5 books or like 5 and a something of a book. It was not fully like a full number. So I was like, it's fine if we start off with a half because hopefully that'll, like, you know, what is that word? Give us a little boost for the rest of the books. But this is Becoming Calder by Mia Sheridan. And you guys, I had no idea what this book was about. Not one clue. And there was this thing that, like, the back does say, it says it without saying it. And so I feel like if you read the back, you're kind of like, what the heck are they talking about? And if you want to know, I'm gonna tell you. If you don't want to know, I would just skip forward just a little bit because honestly, I would not call it a spoiler. I feel like it gives you a little bit of background because what I would hate is for someone to go into this book thinking it's one thing and it being something completely different. And it's like not just something that like is in a lot of books or anything like that. No, this is very unique. And so I'm like, maybe it's just my understanding of the back. I wasn't like, oh, that's like it's whatever. So essentially, basically, Acadia is a cult, basically. So there's this dude who feels like he's all high and mighty, and he talks to the gods, he says, and that they tell him things, and that they told him that he needed to create this world where there are people who are like, almost like the workers, essentially, the people who don't make any money, work for free. They don't have any electricity. They can't have mirrors in their houses because that's too vain. Like, if you're too selfish, whatever, if you look at yourself, it's too sinful. And then it's like, then they also don't have running water, so they need to go shower or bathe in like the streams. And then like the council members, so like the higher people, they can have all those things. So they have running water, toilets, they have all the electricity, the TVs, the whole nine. And so you can already kind of tell where the setup is going. And honestly, it's just so like, honestly, I feel like part of me is like living this with them. Like, I'm like, the whole time my heart is like, and I'm like, what's gonna happen? The other shoe's gonna drop, someone's gonna get in trouble. It's already 6:45, guys, sorry, it's fine. Someone's gonna get in trouble, and I feel like just nervous, so nervous for them. And so I'm interested to see what is gonna freaking happen, because you kind of, so the prologue actually kind of gives you some, what is the word? The prologue kind of shows you what's gonna happen, but like now we're reading how we get there, and that's what's making me nervous. That's what's scaring the freaking crap out of me. So we shall see. And you guys know though, I love Mia Sheridan, and she writes incredible stuff. And they're romance with a little bit of other stuff, and so I did not expect this. Anyway, I'm gonna jump right in. It is 6:47. I'm probably gonna go get comfy, cozy, and then start the timer. I feel like a crazy person, like going crazy because I'm like, what do I do? I need to read book 2. I have book 2. Also, you can get it on Kindle Unlimited, so it's like whatever. I'm giving this I'm giving this book 5 stars. I don't know why I've said 4 at all, because I'm giving this 5 stars. This is a 5-star book. Are you joking? I don't think. I don't know. I've never read anything like this, first of all. The thing is that, like, it's like, as you read it, you could, like, it's hard, though, because, honestly, a lot of these things, I was like, what? I was not clicking. It was not clicking. The thing is that it was so, like, quick-paced. I was so addicted. I literally finished it. I feel like this was fast, in my opinion, but I guess it was, like, 200-something pages. So in 2 hours and 4 minutes. 2 hours and 4 minutes for the rest of this book. Obviously, it was still half, but, like, I am obsessed. It was so good. I'm, like, shooketh. The thing is that with this one is that, you know how a lot of books have a lot of trigger warnings and like content warnings? This one, I can't, like, it's hard to tell you the content warnings. I don't know if there are content warnings in this one, but I can't tell you what I would consider that needed to be a content warning. Like, not that I mind, because I wouldn't have read the content warnings anyway. But I do feel like use your discretion, because when I tell you this is like a cult, like, it's psycho. It gets psycho. It gets crazy. Like, crazy things. Like, oh my gosh. You guys saw some of my tears. Like, gutted right in the soul. But, like, just like, don't take that lightly, that it could get crazy. And, like, for some people, it could be a lot. So just keep that in mind. But, like, if you're someone who normally doesn't read the content warnings and you know, usually just goes into books blind, please read this book. I'm just like, I don't know if I should start book 2. I want to so bad. The characters, I'm addicted. I'm like, what is gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's next? So good. Oh my gosh, so good. Okay. Oh my gosh. I felt like that was fast in my opinion, but I don't know. I just need to, like, see it. Like, I need to see things. So anyway, I will let you guys know what book I started. I do have to, like, shower, get ready for the night anyway. So I will let you know what book I start next. And of course, keep you guys updated. That was really fast. So that means I got like 22 more hours of reading to complete. It's fine. I will keep you guys updated. So I think what I'm gonna do is, because I don't know, I thought you could like lap on the timer. I don't know though. Sorry, I got my skincare going. You know the drill. But I think I'm gonna reset it and then start over. But I took a picture of what the time was. We're probably gonna just round a little bit, but we're gonna take a picture of the time so that I remember and then start the timer over. I'm honestly gonna sit down and read Finding Eden because I just need to. It's a need at this point. So probably won't get much done tonight, but I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy it. Good morning, really quick. I know the lighting's terrible. I'm about to go back and just sit in my room and read for a little bit. I just needed some water, but I wanted to tell you that last night I ended up reading for an hour and 13 minutes, not quite 15, but, and I figured out how to do the lap thing. You have to do it while it's going, so sorry. But I think I'll do that every time I like get a big chunk and like stop, then I'll like kind of lap it so that we could see. Like last night I read for an hour 13, so we'll see how long I read for this morning. I ended up getting to a page 102 though last night, so this book is so good and it's going really quick, so I'm really excited about it. So I just wanted to tell you that really quick before I go sit down and, you know, lap the timer. Well. The Acadia duology is finished. So this is, again, Finding Eden. It's actually like, maybe like 60 pages shorter than book 2. It is a little bit shorter, but it's just so good. Honestly, there was a point in this book and I was like, this book kind of feels like an extended epilogue, but I love it so much. I love. And when I tell you that this is a 5 stars, this is a 5 star. This duology was so good. It just, so, first of all, the thing is that this duology is so unique. Again, I've never read anything like this. I'm sure there are books like it and stuff like that, but it's like, I don't know. There's nothing like, I mean, there's not, I'm not going to go looking for them is what I mean. But just the fact that I was even like remotely interested in this series. I bought both books before even knowing anything about it. Just first of all goes to show how much I love Mia Sheridan, how much I trust her. But then the fact that they're both 5 stars, like this is a 5-star duology. Are you joking? Like, what author can just do that to me? Because honestly, there's not very many. I'm not gonna lie. There's not very many. But something about Mia Sheridan and her writing is just so good. There's like a little bit of mystery. You're like, what's gonna happen? I don't know. Honestly, this entire book, I was also on like a little bit of PTSD from book 1. But I think what I think is so genius about it is like, it feels like that's exactly how you're supposed to feel this entire book, because you're kind of going through the motions with these characters and that's how they feel a little bit like constantly on edge. So I feel constantly on edge and it just creates such a perfect book. And like my attachment to the book then grows a little bit, and the series and the characters grows because of just those feelings. And so I love it. Again, there's mystery, there's action. You're like, oh my gosh, run, hide your kids, hide your wife. do all the things. But there's also like humor. Like there's so many moments where I just laughed and I was like, ah. And don't even get me started on the amount of times I cried. I said, what? What? I didn't know that it was gonna like attach itself to me so fully. And what's crazy is there is characters in here where I'm like, I want them to have a book, and it doesn't seem like they're gonna have a book, but it's fine. It's fine. But I also was like, please, Mia Sheridan, that would be so kind of you if we could get more books, just because it's just like so fascinating. But it honestly, like this one, I honestly haven't seen, again, many reviews. I only saw the ratings on Goodreads. I didn't see people's reviews. I feel like this book, like, the thing for me is I know that if this would have been any shorter or like attached to book one, I probably would have been mad about it, because I would have been like, I want more personally. But I could see other people reading it and being like, oh, this is like, maybe wasn't super needed. It did feel a little bit like, again, like an extended epilogue. Like they're not necessarily like necessities, but like it just feels so good to have them. That's what it felt like to me personally, and I loved it. So it just really to each their own, but I definitely 10 out of 10 recommended this duology because it was so good. Again, so unique. If you like your romances to have like something extra, and that's what I appreciate about Mia Sheridan. She doesn't just write your traditional corny cheesy romance. There's something more. There is a little bit of pain, there's a bit of suffering in the things that she writes, but it is so beautiful. And there were so many good like little lines and quotes and like honestly meanings a little bit. Now this like book didn't necessarily talk about like God and like Christianity or anything like that. It did talk about like, you know, the cult leader and his like, you know, his crap. Not about like one like singular, like the one true God, whatever. They didn't mention that, but I do still like, they didn't directly mention that, but I do think that a little bit of the ending was kind of just like encouraging that a little bit. Like they knew like, you know, God was looking out for them and had their best interests at heart. The one true God was looking out for them and had their best interests at heart. And they kind of acknowledged this in like a little bit. And I was like, wait, this is gold. There's like a conversations between light and dark, and it was just beautiful. Just beautifully written, just full out beautiful. And so definitely 10 out of 10 would recommend. That took me, let's see. In total, that took me 4 hours and 12 minutes. That's crazy. I feel like that's not that long. I guess though, I always like get like a little bit thrown off, but I forget because this book is 320 pages. And in my head, I'm like, oh, I can do 100 pages in an hour. No, girl, you could do 60 pages in an hour because it's 60 minutes in an hour. It's not 100. And so that's where I'm like, oh, crap. And I'm like, duh, Marissa. So that's why it took 4 hours and 12 minutes, which is about right. Again, 60 pages in an hour, which is, again, give or take, because there's some pages that I had to reread, some pages, you know, some moments where I was highlighting stuff on my Kindle and that took forever because the Kindle's stupid, but I didn't necessarily want to stop the timer. You know what I mean? So anyway, it's funny, yeah, for the most part, I read, I finished this literally, last night, I literally read the first hour, 13 minutes. Earlier today, I read an hour and a half, and then today, like right now, this afternoon, 5 p.m., I just finished at 5 p.m., I read for an hour and 24 minutes, so that's crazy. I don't know what I'm going to read next, because this one, was so good. I kind of want to read a fantasy. The thing with the fantasies that I do have them as audiobooks, so I don't know exactly how I want to do them. Part of me kind of wants to go on a walk, but I also have to film a video, so I'm like, if I go on a walk, it'll be a little bit difficult to set the timer, but maybe we'll figure it out. But I will, of course, keep you guys updated. Wait, how many hours is that total? Let's see. Okay, total we have 6 hours and 16 minutes done. Again, we're not rounding the change because that's a lot of work. 6 hours and 16 minutes. That leaves 17 hours. Okay, this is not gonna, how am I gonna do this math with, with numbers? This is harder than I thought. So we have like 17 hours and like some change. 18 hours, okay? Well, I don't know, hopefully we get a lot of books done. Okay, sorry, I'll keep you guys updated, bye. So I ended up getting 25% of the way. I'll tell you exactly in a second. I'm just taking off my makeup. I'm about to take off my makeup for the night. But I ended up starting, did I tell you? I don't know if I told you or if I just started it, The Road of Bones by Demi Winters. So this one actually is a, obviously book of the month book, but it's on my TBR for the month of July. And so I honestly already finished 2 TBR books, so I'm like, if I can get like more, at least like 4 done this early on in the month, I would be one happy gal. And so I'm gonna try my best. But so that's why I started this one. I honestly was also just like in a mood for fantasy, and my Libby Holt came in, so that worked out. But this book is like, I honestly didn't know very much about it, and it's interesting because it is a little bit more like it's obviously it's fantasy because there are like monsters and stuff. I'm trying to like scrape what's left out of here because there are monsters and magic and stuff, but it's almost like, I don't know, like, I don't want to say Vikings, but it almost feels like a little bit Viking. I wonder if it describes it in here. I think it is a Viking inspired. Yeah. In this epic and immersive Viking-inspired romantic fantasy, a woman fleeing a ruthless assassin accidentally joins forces with a group of mercenaries and must use all her cunning to escape with her life and her heart intact. Which is just like, it's so interesting, and I honestly, you guys know me, I go into most books blind, so I wasn't 100% sure what this book was even about. I just obviously knew it was like a fantasy romance, might be like maybe a little bit enemies to lovers. I think it is enemies to lovers technically, if I have the right character. If I have the right love interest in mind, then it is enemies to lovers. But it's cool. I could definitely see this becoming like just a really great like found family kind of book, but we shall see. So book 1, this is book 1. Book 2 is out. There's a novella that is out, I believe, and then book 3 is not out yet. So I'm hoping that there's only going to be 3 books, because if book 3 ain't out yet and I gotta wait for book 3 and maybe potentially more, I'm gonna be upset. I'm not gonna lie. But we shall see. But anyway, I'm enjoying it. So I ended up going for a walk, you guys saw. I've been reading, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit surprised, but I've been reading for 2 hours and 51 minutes. So nearly 3 hours, and I only got to page, I got to page 128. That don't sound right in my head, but if you go to look at like, sorry, if you go to, sorry, I can't, it's hard to show you, but if you look at the app, it says that I'm 5 hours done in this book technically, which makes sense because half of, I guess, that would be 250. I don't know. No, it would be, half of 5 hours would be 2 hours and 30 minutes. Something's not adding up here. Oh, it could be to the pace that I'm listening to it at. I'm not listening to it at double speed. I just realized I'm listening to it at 1.75. But I always feel like the Libby app, they talk mad fast. And so maybe I'll try to speed it up. It's not the end of the world. I don't mind that much because obviously we got 24 hours to kill. I'm not going to lie, but I was very surprised. But also there's a couple things that like Book of the Month books, obviously they're a lot longer, like taller, longer physically. So the pages have a lot more words on it than regular books. And obviously I'm listening to it, so I'm not really going at my pace because I'm listening to the other people, but honestly, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. So 3 hours down, and I'm like, this book is going to take me a long time to finish, but I'm not mad at it. I'm enjoying it, and I'm excited to see what the heck is going to happen because I just feel like it could be so good. And I don't know. I do not know. So I ended up figuring out though, I know that this time is right 100% because I like kept it going on my walk, and then when I came back I was listening to it for mad long. So I know the time is definitely right. I think it's just my pacing with listening to it. So anyway, I think I'm gonna screenshot this. Well, I screenshotted it anyway so that I can like hold on to that. I don't know if it'll save the image for tomorrow. If it, I don't know if it'll save the time for tomorrow. If it does, then we'll just resume with this one tomorrow, so we can just get a total of how long the book takes us instead of going back and forth between this and my iPad. But if it doesn't save, then I will switch to the iPad because it is a little bit easier on the iPad, but YOLO, you know what I mean? Okay, I gotta go take this mascara off, brush my teeth. I think I might listen to a little bit more while I'm just getting ready for bed, but then I'm probably going to bed, so I'm not going to listen to much more, so I wanted to update you now while I had a second. Really quick, so last night I was supposed to, like I said, I was only gonna read for a little bit. I ended up reading for like another hour and a half or so. I got to 4 hours and 1 minute last night. Like, I just kept going. I couldn't stop listening, but I upped the speed to double speed, so now it should be like a little bit quicker. But this book is just like, it does seem like a long book, but I really like, what I like about the whatever, like the pace I was at, I didn't feel like I was reading slow. It's because there's so much to kind of absorb. But now we're getting to like a little bit like more where it's okay to be a little bit faster because I'm not missing anything. I could still obviously grasp everything, and then more action and stuff is happening, so it's like perfect. So it's perfect. But obviously I will keep you guys updated. Guys, I don't know why I look so tired today, but it just happened like that. It just woke up like this, tired. Anyway, hello. So last night, again, I don't know how much I updated you because I don't want this video to be too long, but I did end up finishing The Road of Bones by Demi Winters. You guys, if book, okay, sorry, let me reverse, because this is going to be a 5-book series. Apparently, there's going to be 5 books in the series. And I said, what? Not including the novella. So it's giving, oh my gosh, it's giving Fourth Wing. And it's making me mad. Because book 3 isn't even out yet. Book 3 comes out in February 2026. Book 3. So Lord knows when book 4 and book 5 are coming out. I'm really hoping that it is, I mean, actually, I don't know what I'm hoping because, so book 1, obviously we get our main character, Scylla, and whatever. She's going through it. She's going through a lot. There's a lot. There's basically one long journey, which I love a book like that. Again, it's giving kind of like Percy Jackson, where it feels like a quest or something like that. Although this is a little bit different. She's more so running from something than she is like trying to achieve something. But anyway, you have action, there's romance, there's drama, there's all the good things. There are plot twists. There are just like, betrayals. Right in the, I loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. And there's still so many questions, and that's why I kind of am not mad that it's 5 books, because I'm like, girl, if this is a trilogy, like, we're gonna have to speed it up. But it is looks like it's gonna be 5 books, which makes sense because there's a lot of questions that need answers. I think that's the thing when you build, like, literally create a whole new world. And I know lots of books do that, but there are certain books that I feel like, you know, all have similar things that it's not as hard to understand. This one's so unique, so different that there's a lot to be built. And there's like different, like, you know, you can't really tell like what people, like, you can't really tell what's happening very much. And so I appreciate that because it leaves a sense of, oh my gosh, I need to read the next book. And I like that. So book 2 is already out, and there's a novella out. So what I'm thinking is, so book 2, I had placed it already as a Libby hold, and it still says like 8 or 9 weeks. So that's 2 months away, and I'll read book 2. Then I'll wait like maybe a month or two, read book 3, and then it should be like only a month. It should be like 2 to 3 months before book 3 comes out. Then I'll freak out after that. But this does leave at a point where I was like, no, I need more. I want to know. But it does, like, it hits you right in the soul. So I was just obsessed. I'm obsessed. And if you have not read this and it's been sitting on your TBR like mine for months and months, honestly, this has been sitting since November 2024. November 2024 is crazy. It is crazy. But actually it's not that long ago, but it's fine. I'm a little, the reason why I'm like avoiding saying the rating is I think part of me is a little torn. Because I really freaking enjoyed it. And so I think I'm gonna have to go with a 4.75. I think I'm gonna have to go with a 4.75. And you guys know I do not give those lightly, but I think for me is I had to like almost search for something I didn't like about this book, and even then I still forget what it even was because it was so like, wasn't even something that I didn't really like. It wasn't even something that I didn't even like. It's like something that's maybe like personally not my favorite, but obviously because it's and the thing is like it's a bad thing. It is a bad thing, but whatever. Anyway, I had to do some, oh gosh, stupid hair. Anyway, I had to search for something that I didn't like about it, and that was stupid of me. It was just that I didn't get, like, you know, the way, this is hard, but I'm just thinking about some of the 5 stars that I've read. You know, the way that, like, you know, Fourth Wing attaches itself to the soul and, like, you know, embeds itself in me is just like a standard, you know? And so I wouldn't say that this is necessarily like so much below that. I would say that for whatever reason, it could just be like the writing or, you know, just the storyline in general, or I just needed a little bit more. It didn't give me that 5-star, like, oh my gosh. But I found nothing wrong with it. There's nothing I did not like. And I have to, again, give credit where credit's due. I'm not going to lie. This is one of those books where I like, you know, in the middle of the night, I'm trying to fall asleep and I turn over and I'm like, and I'm like mad about it, something. Or I'm like, I need to know what's going to happen next. Something like that. You know what I mean? And so I even looked today because I was like, how much is the next audiobook if I didn't wait for it on Libby? And that crap on Audible is like $35. It said absolutely the freak not. Absolutely freaking out. Obviously I could buy a credit, but like that's ridiculous. So I'm just gonna patiently wait, especially again because it's 5 books. I gotta spread it out. It was so good though. So all that to say that you need to read this book if you have not. I mean, honestly, you could just wait a couple more months. Might as well wait till November like 2025 so that you at least are not waiting so long between books, but still It was so good. I don't know what else to say, what else to tell you, because I don't want to like spoil anything, but like you will be surprised. You will be shooketh. I kind of had my suspicions, but it literally, even if I was like, yes, I think this is gonna happen, it doesn't happen the way you think it's gonna happen. I was like gobsmacked, shooketh. So that book in total took me 11 hours and 3 minutes. 11 hours and 3 minutes. And so I had in 30 seconds. So I had ChatGPT do the math because, y'all know, like just hours and adding, it's just not the same. It's just a little bit difficult, you know, whatever. So I'll go over all the things. So in total, so far with the other books and stuff, I completed 17 hours, 20 minutes, and 19 seconds. So I did all the way math down to the seconds, not the like milliseconds, just the seconds. So that leaves me with 6 hours, 39 minutes, 41 seconds. If it takes me like, 6 hours, 40 minutes, whatever. I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh. So I'm thinking of like a shorter book. Again, 6 hours, 6 hours, 40 minutes. It's like, could go either way. So as a Libby hold, I actually do have Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. As a hold, it came in. I've had this as a hold for literal weeks. I just keep renewing it because no one's in line after me. And because I guess no one wants to read this book. Also, there are other copies, I think, available. So I don't know. I know that's so annoying and I hate to be that person, but like, I don't know. No, it doesn't say, like, you normally would tell me like, I have to return it and then redo it if I want it. Sometimes it'll tell me that. So I don't know. Anyway, this one technically has 14 hours. So I'm like, depending on the speed, 6 hours, 40 minutes kind of sounds about right. I just don't know how I feel about this book because I know not everyone loves it, but like maybe I'll just do it. The other one that I caught my attention today was Crimson River by Devney Perry. The thing is that this book is 322 pages. Like, I really think that'll be way too quick. I mean, maybe it'll be fine. I don't know, but I'm gonna decide between these two. Let you know, I think I'm leaning a little bit more toward Deep End, but of course, I will keep you guys updated. Guys. So I don't know why I always do that. Every time I like say something, I like do an awkward laugh at the end, and I kid you not, guys, like sometimes I literally edit them out because they're so annoying. I'm like, girl, that's like a half giggle, half like, it's not even, whatever. I hate that I do that, but I can't control it. Anyway, guys, so I ended up starting, I don't know if you guys, you definitely saw. I ended up starting Crimson River by Devney Perry. I know Deep End is the right choice, but I just like am so nervous about that book that I'm like, it can wait as long as possible. And honestly, there was a couple other books that I was like, but this one, I don't know why. I was just like, let me read that. Because I know that these books are so quick paced. You can see I'm already at page 105. I'm like flying through this, I feel like. I did end up doing the timer the other way, so I put on 6 hours and whatever it was, 49 minutes, whatever. So I ended up getting to 5 hours and 10 minutes. So we're like an hour and a half done, maybe a little over an hour and a half way done. And so that's crazy, but I'm excited. I'm excited for this book, and I figure if I finish this book, I can probably start the last book in the series, and then you can watch the rest of like my thoughts on that book in my actually finishing series reading vlog. So it's like a win-win, you know what I mean? And so I felt like that was the best. If you guys do not know, the Eden series is like one of the best series, honestly. I feel like it's pretty underrated, I'm not gonna lie, but it is so good because because it's a romance, it's a small town romance series. There are 6 different books and they're all this Eden, so they're all siblings. I think it's 6. I think it's, yeah, I think it's 6. There are some novellas and stuff even too, but they're all siblings, and so it's so cutie because, you know, you just get all, you know, you get all the sides of it, of the family and the stuff, and they're like ranch family, like they have a ranch and different things like that. It is really hot in here. Oh, anyway, I'm obsessed with that. I love that, like, you know, thing to it, but Devney Perry made this series so that there's, oh, my brother's home, hold on. Devney Perry actually wrote this series with a little bit, so all the books have something a little extra. So one of them is like a crime that they have to solve. One of them is like, you know, just different things, different, basically crimes, I should say, or crazy things. Like there's like a shooting in one, there's like some illegal stuff in another one. Like, so there's always added a little something, and I'm obsessed. And this book, which this one was the hardest for me to start, and I don't know why, because I love Lila, who's the main girl of this, so I wanted her to get her romance on, and so I don't know why it took me so long, but I think Devney Perry just made the smartest decision with this book, because the book starts off, you get like one chapter, and then boom, something crazy, and you're like, what? But that's how you get introduced to like the other character, the male main character, and so it ends up working out, and so I know it's gonna be so good. It's giving me like, honestly, it's giving me kind of like, oh, I don't know if I should tell you though. I feel like it's a little bit of a spoil, but maybe I'll look it up, see what the back of the book says, and then if it's not too big of a spoil, I'll tell you guys later. But anyway, I gotta go to the gym, so I'm gonna go. I'll probably read a little bit more when I get there, because I usually get there early so that I, you know, don't hit too much traffic. But I will, yeah, keep you guys updated. I'm obsessed. I'm so excited. Guys, I don't know why. Okay, so for the random things, because I just feel like this video has been so successful, and it's actually crazy to me. So far this month, I've read, honestly, a lot more books than I have in the past couple months so far. And then also, they're all just so highly rated. So highly rated. I'm so confused. Honestly, sorry. I don't know what I want to rate this one. I'm thinking a 4.5, but I will officially let you guys know in a little bit, before obviously the end of this video. Anyway, I just finished Crimson River. And honestly, it was so good. This book reminds me, if you've ever seen Tracker, and I love that movie, and honestly, I picture that man, that movie, I love that show, and I pictured that man literally this entire book, and I'm not mad at it, because he's fine. And so it was just so super cute. It is a little bit like it's a really quick paced book, but it's a little like slightly bit rushed. And I know that'll bother some people. For me personally, I don't care. I don't care. I loved it. It was cute. The characters are so cute. The storyline, I do have to say, I think it could have been, not necessarily a storyline, but I feel like the peak, like it could have been a little bit better. What is that called? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It could have been a little bit better, but like other than that, honestly, no complaints. I love these books because, again, I said this earlier, you know, the small town, the family, but it's just like they're so like almost wholesome in a way, because the family's like always having, you know, family dinner, or like you're always seeing a character from another book, from one of the other books, which I'm obsessed with. They're always just like helping each other. I don't know. It's just like a cute freaking family, and I love it. But they're also like on the farm. Lila, she loves to hike, like that's her thing. She loves the nature of it. And they had some, they both had some banger lines in this as well. I loved it. Also, sorry, Lila also has the coffee shop, and I love coffee. I'm a coffeeaholic, but she just like, you know, just her love for that atmosphere, and that was super sweet. And I think that we do get a little bit to see a little bit on the inside of Lila. Is it the most deep and like, you know, soul searching? Not really. We just get to see, you know, kind of a surface level, but I really enjoyed it. I just thought it was great. It was interesting. It was fun. It was fresh. That being said, so I don't know what I'm gonna give it. I'm still, I think it's going 4.5 stars, but I'll have to like think about it, see what's popping in my head. But what happened was I literally still have 2 hours and 35 minutes left. Literally still have 2 hours and 35 minutes left. Okay. Honestly, I read it a little bit faster than I thought because the Kindle does give you like a little bit of a like how long it's gonna take you, like projected reading. But the thing with the Kindle is that it does like, it has like the acknowledgements, all the things in the end, and so it takes those into account too. And girl, I'm not reading those. But the Kindle version will have you download the extended epilogues. I was like, oh, I'm not going to do that. But the physical copy has the like extended epilogues. And so I did read, but technically there's two. I did read both of those. So, that was even, when I finished it, I was at like, maybe 2:45, and I was like, huh. But then 2 hours and 45 minutes, I was like, what? But then it went a little bit lower because I ended up reading those. So anyway, all that to say that I am downloading Sable Peak right now because you freaking guys, we get to see, so this is Mateo's book. My man. I don't know. He has like a couple cameos, but you just love Mateo from the minute you meet him. At least I did personally. But we get kind of like a mic drop that Mateo gives in this, and then so obviously this is his book, so I need to know. Let's see. Okay, I didn't know who this was. I didn't know who the girl was, and I was like, I wonder if it's so-and-so, and it's so-and-so, and I'm not gonna tell you because you need to read this series, you guys. You need to read this series. Yeah, This is it's gonna go out with a bang, I just know it. This one's a little bit chunkier, like maybe like 20-30 pages more. Like I said, I'm 2 hours 35 minutes. I probably will make it maybe a little over halfway, and you will have to see the ending of this book in another video. I know you're gonna be mad at me, but I am doing a giant video where it's finishing every series that I am currently actually finishing series, that's what it's called. And so we will actually finish this series together in that video. Hopefully it's done by the end of the month, so you're not waiting too long. I know, I'm sorry. Okay, so I have to go shower, get ready for bed, do all the things before I start this book. But I'm excited. Hello. So I wanted to update you guys because I have an hour left. An hour and 41 seconds left. That's it. We're almost done. I'm actually sad, but honestly, we will be doing this video again. Sorry. Sorry, there's a table behind me. We will be doing this again because this was such a successful video. I had honestly so much fun. So we're gonna be doing this again soon. We're not ending it here. We have 1 hour left, so one update left probably. But obviously, like I said, I was reading Sable Peak by Devney Perry. I'm obsessed, so obsessed. I made it to chapter 15, page 120. I said that feels really good. Really good. I don't know how much time, I can't remember how much time that was. I will obviously get less than 100 pages. I'll probably get like 60 more pages, give or take. But fret not, it's okay. Anyway, if you do not know, this is Mateo's book. I don't want to tell you who the other character is because honestly, it was so much fun figuring it out, like finding it out as I read the series, and I was like, what? No freaking way. But obviously, if you read the back, you see who it is, like clear as day. But anyway, so we find out that whatever, we have this character. What's really cool about this series is it kind of starts off, with this book, is that it starts off with a part 1 before. So we have like honestly months. I think it's like 2 years worth of like months. It's not exactly every single month, but it'll maybe like skip a month or two, but it's like pretty much monthly updates for like 2 years, which at first I actually really enjoyed. Then I was like, okay, it's dragging on a little bit, but honestly, right when I was like, okay, it ended up changing to part 2, which is after, obviously, but I want to show you the page. Yeah, part 2 after. I don't know if there's any more parts. We're not too far into part 2, so obviously we shall see. But I'm really enjoying it so far. I don't know, it's such a different take on, it's just a different take on, and honestly, I've never seen anything like this specifically in like series. You know, you have your typical series like the Knock 'Em Out series, the Chestnut Springs, like those, you know, the family where they're brothers or siblings or whatever, and they're all, you know, getting married, whatever, and they all live in a small town. Oh, that's it, the small town romance. I haven't read one like this, and so I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous because I'm like, what is gonna be the like thing? What is the thing? And I'm scared about it, but we shall see. So I'm really excited. I have an hour left. I will keep you guys updated. Well, we've come to the end of this video, you guys. I cannot believe it. Again, I had so much fun. So we're just gonna go over the books really quick, not too long. You guys saw I did read half of Becoming Calder, and that book took me, half of that book I should tell you, took me 2 hours and 4 minutes. And then we read Finding Eden by Mia Sheridan. So this is book 2 in this Acadia duology. This one took me 4 hours and 12 minutes. The whole book. And then we had The Monstrosity. This is The Road of Bones by Demi Winters. I freaking love this book. This book took me 11 hours and 3 minutes. 11 hours is a long time. I didn't tell you my ratings either, but hold on, we'll do that in a second. And then I ended up reading Crimson River by Devney Perry. This ended up taking me about 4 hours, give or take. I don't have the exact screenshot, which I should have. But then we ended up reading half of Sable Peak by Devney Perry. So literally, it's page 198. So it was pretty much like 51% of the way, I think it was. And that was the remaining 2 hours and 35 minutes to get halfway. So oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. Like I said a million times, this book will be updated, finished, completed in another video. Just like ignore the hair. But I'm really enjoying this so far. Again, I don't want to tell you too much about the characters and stuff like that, but I will say this one is just like it's very unique and I love it so much. And it's following just like some characters who you know are like, you know, in their hearts of hearts, they're struggling, they're going through it, but like, you know, you want them to succeed, you want to get their romance on, you want them to come out on the other side, and so just watching their journey is so super cutie and I'm obsessed. But I will keep you guys updated on that one. Crimson River, we're gonna go with a solid 4.5 stars. The Road of Bones by Demi Winters, we went with 4.75. Sheesh. And then both Becoming Calder and Finding Eden, we did give 5 freaking stars. Like, what a successful series, duology, and video. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you'd want to see me do it again. How would you want to see it? Let me know. I thought this was super fun and fresh. And yes, I will see you next one. Bye, nerds.